All right. I'll take that. That's better. All right. All right. Hey, looky here. Elijah. Brother Daryl Cosman. I was thinking about you last night about when you was in that debate and how proud I was of you that, oh, Mike, you gotta get this thing fixed. Okay, 1 second here. This thing's gonna keep falling off. I gotta get it fixed. 1 second. Gotta fix my mic. Okay, I think. I hope that'll hold up. Yeah, brother. I was thinking about you last night, man, and about how you was in that debate and they was trying to press you for an answer. They was trying to make you answer real fast, and then when you was trying to answer, it was cutting you off. And you finally said, "Hey, man, I ain't got to say nothing. I ain't got to say nothing at all." And the faithist, that's the perfect answer for faithist, man. I hope you can hang out for a little while, Daryl. Good to see you, brother. And I'm going to continue talking a little bit about the interaction I had with my cousin yesterday. It really was a painful lesson, very, very painful lesson. But now the lessons just keep on coming from that one, from that situation. The creator is just pouring it out, man, you know, about why I had to go through that, the lessons that I am learning. And I'm going to just talk a little more about that today. So just to maybe some of you brethren don't want to, if you listened to the video the other day, and again, since we got Daryl in the room, if anybody else you want to interrupt me and because you have something you want to share, feel free, man. Feel free. I don't have to go on with what I'm going to talk about. The program is for brethren to come together and talk to one another and share with one another and encourage one another. Because one of the things that I really learned yesterday, man, is that the creator, he just keep on putting in my mind is that if you search yourself and you in your heart, you know that you're trying not to do wrong by anybody. If you know that in your heart, then you should never condemn yourself if a thing don't go right. You should not condemn yourself. And I was talking specifically to Libras. I wanted to minister to Libras the other day on my video because I know what we're like. I know the vibration we're under. All of you might not agree. That's cool. But I know that in our heart, the creator, he put a vibration on us to, our thing is relationships. We excel in trying to do whatever it takes to have a harmonious relationship. Our sign is the scale. So we're always judging, always balancing, always in deep meditation about Elizabeth, with that Libra smile. That's a Libra right there, Elizabeth. That's why she made her smile her icon. Because that's one thing they known for is their smile. Good to see you, Elizabeth. I hope you can hang out for a little while. Good to see all y'all, whether you come on the chat or not. But yeah, so the creator, you just keep on showing me, keep on telling me that if you're going to be a faithist, you're going to have to you're going to have to be able to take it on the chin, you know? I mean, from what I read, that's one of my prayers. Is I hope that we don't turn into Christian faithists, where everything is your fault. You're always wrong. You're supposed to bow down to everybody, and I'm slowly shedding that skin, that that conflict I had with my cousin the other day. I have to, what I thought was evil, it has really turned out for good, man. Because, oh man, I can't get over it. How the creator, he used that event. I mean, the lessons are still coming from what I went through yesterday. They are still happening. I mean, I ended up having to write stuff down, you know, because I finally realized that the creator, if you're going to do podcasts, we read the other day where he talks to you. I'm going to end up breaking this mic, man. See if I can get this thing to work the way I want it. Oh boy. Okay, let's try that. This thing's real wobbly. All right. So I'm here to tell you, brethren, man, that I think that the creator is saying, like, if you're going to do podcasts, you're going to, we read yesterday where he said he talks to you through your spirit. The creator said that he talks to you. I forget what I read yesterday. He talks about your inner voice, and you got to learn to listen to it, man. We got to learn to listen to it if we're going to make it, because we going to get tested. That's what that situation taught me yesterday. It taught me, man, hey, look, don't think, look, don't forget, you're going to get tested, but it's going to be for your benefit. It's going to be for your benefit. Now, I'm just going to keep on sharing about, some of the things that I learned from it was a very unpleasant interaction, very, very unpleasant. But I learned, like I said, I really learned a lesson. I just can't stop thanking the creator, and I'm going to do my best to share with y'all the things that, what he just keeps on teaching me, keep on sharing with me. Now, one of the things that came to my mind is this about you. Oh, okay, Daryl. Yeah, thanks, brother. Op 1:8. Let's go to that. Op, Book of Op. And don't forget, brother, if you want to come on, don't be shy. You know, don't be shy, brother. So let me go to the Book of Op, chapter 1, verse 8. I don't know. I hope I can bring out the reason why I hope I can um, pinpoint the point that you want to make with that verse. So just bear with me while I do a little dance here so I can bring it out. Book of Op, chapter 1, verse 8. But basically, I learned the inclination that kept coming to me was the creator saying, everything is not always your fault. Everything is not always a faith's fault. I was saying a Libra yesterday because I know what type of vibration we're under. And, Libra is a sign of the setting sun. That means that we put down our ego. We're likely to put down our ego for the sake of being able to have a relationship with different brethren. So, okay, somebody's in the backstage. All right, hold on a second. Let me bring you on. Let's see who's on. Um, I'm not gonna. I like to talk about all the signs because I think that's the Creator's given me that gift to be able to do that for the glory of His. Okay, Daryl. All right. Hey, brother.
Hey,
Good
what's
to
up,
see
partner? Can you hear me?
you. Yeah, real good. Hey,
Yeah.
Sanab.
Yeah, sorry,
Good to
my
see
daughter.
you, sis.
Huh?
Yeah, I hear you real good. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was saying my daughter watching Finding Nemo in the background. It was too loud. I'm not in my studio right now. I'm just kind of chilling. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. You said that the Creator speaks to us. So go ahead and read that book of Alpha 1 and 8.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get it. My computer's been on day and night,
Yeah,
man.
take your
So
time.
I hope it don't, I hope it don't mess up on me because it gets a little slow and choppy if you keep on. So bear with me. Okay, now you wanted chapter 1, verse 8, right? Book of Ah. Okay. It
Yeah,
says
yeah.
they look.
I think that's it. Hold on. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, sorry. If you ask me a question and I don't respond right away, it's because I'm on mute. I'm
Uh
doing something with my daughter, but I'll chime back in.
okay. Okay. All right. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, it says, Book of Job, chapter 1, verse 8, may the Creator bless the reading of his word. It says, they look for me like they look for things. They listen for my voice like they listen for a man's voice. And they do not find me or hear what I have spoken. Yet none can efface my words. Man, this is powerful. Yet none can efface my words. My wisdom endures forever. Behold, I do not come as a sound to the ear. My voice goes quickly into the soul from all sides. So, you still there, Daryl? It sounds to me like, can you hear? Can I even be heard? Type of one. Is my audio? Is it me or is
On
it?
my
Is it on
daughter.
his end?
Yeah. Hello?
Oh, you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I'll just be stepping away from the phone. But I got a potty right now. 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna chime back in just a moment. Give me a second while I deal with her. There's something I want to show you how you know or why it is that the Creator speaks to us in the inside.
Okay, I got to turn my volume up. I can. Can you turn your volume up too? I think your volume might be a little low. Let me see if I can turn mine up. Maybe it's me. Um, turn my volume. Can can everybody hear me? Okay, is my sound coming through? Okay. It says I'm at 100%, so I guess I'm all right. But while we wait for the brother, thanks, Asenaf. All right, so while we wait for the brother to come back on and give us the breakdown, I the situation yesterday. The creator. I mean, when I went through the situation, I was getting beat up pretty good. And oh, hey, Omian, good to see you, brother. And so one of the things that kept coming to my mind is that I know that. I mean, I know it's probably not just a Libra thing because I was talking about how we may tend to put our blame ourselves for something that's really not your fault at all. And the lesson that I learned is that when you search yourself and your conscience don't convict you, then you shouldn't be trying to go around saying, man, I just ain't got it, man. I can't get along with nobody. I'm always, drawing this negative energy. And Creator's saying you shouldn't be doing things like that. If you're walking in the light, if you're trying to be in the light, and somebody else, they just will not get off at a lower vibration, you shouldn't blame yourself for that. And that's the world is good at that. We live in a situation where we got a bunch of people. If you read the OAHSPE and you talk about, I forget where it talks about there was an account where the angels came back and said something like the weeds are growing a lot faster than the faithists. Every time we harvest one, 9 of them grow back up. And it's the same way. Say, oh, you back? Okay, brother.
Yeah, yeah, brother. I'm here. Check it out now. The reason why the creator speaks to our soul is because the creator is the supreme consciousness, and from that supreme consciousness we get our consciousness, and the consciousness is what is the wind that causes us to move, or is the source of life. Right now, check this out. I'm gonna give you a precept for that. I want you to go to Book of Thor, chapter 4, verse 14.
Okay, but do you want me to read this again so you comment on this again or
No,
the verse?
No, you don't have to, but that last line shows you that it's on all sides. That's what your consciousness does. One moment, go to Book of Thor, chapter 4, verse 14. I want to show you something.
Okay, Book of Thor, chapter 4, verse 14. All right. Book of Thor, chapter 4. Book of Thor. All right, Book of Thor. 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 Chapter 4. Chapter 4, verse. Okay. Book of Thor, chapter 4, verse 14.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Book of Thor, chapter 4, verse 14. It says, Joby said, "Do not think, O man, that there is only one member in my person, and that different conditions and states of that one comprise my universe.
Right.
The foolish man has said the blood is the foolish man has said the blood is the flesh and bones, and the flesh and bones are simply a state of blood. But he does not see that I do not make flesh out of blood, but out of that which the blood carries.
Mm-hmm.
And in the same way, I carry the corporal of my person in the eth of my being."
Yep. Yep. Okay. Now watch this. Now the creator saying that it's a compound of two entities. What are those two entities? The one entity is my person, which is corporeal, which is all things corporeal in existence. The second would be my being, which would be the spirit, which is the consciousness. That's why it says the eth of my being. Now, I want you to open up your Chrome and go to Merriam Dictionary.
Go to Merriam Dictionary.
Yeah, go to Merriam-Webster in your Chrome.
Oh, Merriam-Webster. Okay, hold on one second. Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Yep.
Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Show it on your screen.
No. I beat no. Somebody always make a big deal out of Dave telling me to share my screen, and so I'm on top of it. I'm just waiting till I get it before I share it.
Oh
So
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like to
protect your privacy.
yeah I like to make a big deal out of that because they keep poking me about that Asenath and Dave. But I'm on it this time. But you'll know when I'm not when I forget to share it. Hold on a
Yeah,
second.
yep.
Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Okay, now look up the word being, B-E-I-N-G.
Okay, look up. Okay, spell it again.
B-E-I-N-G, being.
Oh, being. Okay.
Now read definition.
All
I
right.
believe 1C or 2C. 1C, it should say conscious existence.
Okay. It says living thing, sentient being, a mythical being,
Find the one that says
and
conscious.
yeah, conscious existence.
And then what's the word that's next to it after the colon?
Yeah, conscious existence. Life.
Life. Conscious existence, life.
Life.
So right there, the creator is
Right.
conscious existence is life. It's conscious existence and it is life. Now let's connect that to the creator being spirit. Look up the word spirit in the Merriam Dictionary. Watch the two words that they have in common.
Mm-hmm. Okay, spirit. All right, hold on a second.
It should say an animating or vital principle.
You know, the translation spirit in the Bible, I just found out, is inaccurate. Yeah, the word for spirit. Well, I'll talk about that later. But okay, spirit. It says an animating or vital principle held to give life to physical organisms.
Give life, correct. Now that
Oh,
word
wait a
life,
minute. Hold on. Something's wrong here.
that was
Hold
the
on a
right word.
second. I think my computer is telling me something's wrong. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think my computer's messing up on me. Let's see. Okay, yeah, good. You can't see the screen. All right. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
No, what I was saying was, if you notice, spirit,
It
being,
says an
life,
animating or
huh?
go ahead.
What I was saying was spirit, being, life, and consciousness. They're all one and the same. So being is conscious existence, life, and spirit is an animating or vital principle held to give life to physical organisms, which is the same thing that spirit does, which is the same thing that consciousness does. So when you're reading about when you're reading, so when the Creator says that I speak to you, on all sides, it is speaking to us through spirit, through life, through consciousness, through its being. And so we are created in His likeness. So therefore we are also being, consciousness, spirit, and life. And it speaks through us through those channels. That's why it speaks to us. That's why the Creator's voice goes quickly into the soul on all sides, and how it happens, not just why it happens.
Mm-hmm. So you're pointing to the comprehensive way that the Creator speaks through His Spirit.
Yeah. Because we are all spirit of His spirit, but consciousness of His consciousness. There's nothing that we're made of that it doesn't have already, or that it hasn't made us out of. And so it speaks
Mm-hmm.
through its substances.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I fully understand where you coming from. I mean, I have an idea. It's one of them things that I probably won't get till later on. I mean, for right now, I'm thinking that every vibration is the Creator speaking to us. Is what it sounds like to me, and I can receive that. It
Yeah.
seems to be one of the things I'm learning, and I, I, you know, it seems as I'm learning that I'm trying to learn that there's how to listen to the Creator. I mean, the event that happened yesterday probably was one of the biggest leaps of my spiritual life. I mean, the uh, the situation with my cousin talking on the phone, the disappointment, but the lessons that have been coming since then, it's been coming, like it says here, or the other being definition, it's been coming from all sides. So that's what, if you don't have anything else, then I'm going to continue on. Did you want to talk about something
No,
else?
go ahead. No, it take a
Oh,
while,
okay.
but you get there.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, brother. Thanks for sharing that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for sharing that. Okay, I'm gonna keep going then. So one of the things that really kept coming to me is the Creator saying that you don't always point to yourself when you're dealing with the faults of other brethren, because we in this situation where everybody, what the Creator, what I seem to be learning is He's calling you to walk in your higher vibration. You know, listed through the zodiac, the 12 signs of the zodiac. We all have higher, we all have lower vibrations. And that it seemed to me that the Creator is saying that the only way that we're going to be able to elevate like that is to learn. One of the ways we got to listen, get yourself still and listen to what your mind is telling you. For a long time, I haven't done that. And after that situation, and I sat myself down and I made myself be still. And then I just started getting hit with a flood of, I mean, and then, my mind was saying, hey, look, write it down, and I was up all night. I felt like I found a new toy to play with in the sense that I let myself try to listen to what the creator was telling me. And one of the interesting things that I was shown that I really wanted to share was right here in the introduction to the OAHSPE. And basically it was saying the gist of what it was saying is it's about you. You first. You brethren. Let me see if I can find it. Consider your, I mean, we're called to be selfless and to learn, to try to learn and serve with other brethren. I get that. That's what it's ultimately about. But look at something that I was led to. I want to share real quick. I thought it was pretty knocked out, man. Pretty powerful. Right there at the beginning, man. And it was like the creator is saying, look, first of all, this is about you. And I looked at, when you bring up the OAHSPE, this is the first page you get, and I never stopped to read this. And then I got led to it. Let me share it. My computer is trying to mess up on me. Okay, here it is right here. I don't know if we, have really checked this out, what it says in the beginning of the OAHSPE. It says, you have a corporeal body. And again, thank Daryl for bringing that, man, that definition.
Yeah, it also helps to understand that first paragraph right there you about to read.
Yeah. It says, you have a corporeal body and a spiritual body. Hear me, and I will open your understanding. Hear me. I mean, a lot of this stuff, I still got like that where I read stuff and I just, gloss over it. But it's like things are changing in the sense that when you're trying to pay attention to what the creator, how he's talking to you, dealing with you, then you're going to hear him. It says, you have a corporal body and a spiritual body. Hear me, and I will open your understanding. I come to free not only the corporal man, but the spiritual man. It says, yet with your freedom, you also attain to responsibility, so that sooner or later, your fidelity to your creator and your fellow man in righteousness, love, and good works shall become the most sacred duty of your life. He says, your God does not come in this era as a dictator, but as your elder brother with ample experience. Nor do I command, saying, you shall believe, because I, your God, have said it or revealed it in this book. It says, nevertheless, through OAHSPE, light of Jehovah, the creator, is revealed to man, and man is to judge himself and labor to save himself, so that by this he may labor, honor, and glory. For the will of the creator is not for man to be forever led, but for man to be ultimately have the light of practicing good works organically from infancy up. But the part that I was really wanting to focus on is up top. He says, you have a corporal body and a spiritual body. And he says, hear me. Hear me. And I'll open your understanding. That's a real thing. And come to free not only the corporal man, but the spiritual man. Because I was trying to share that coming out of religion, it puts a pretty good burden on you. And that type of burden that it puts on you is where you're always at fault. You're always at fault. In this world, we're in a world of spirits where people are on their lower vibration. And talking to my cousin the other day, it was nothing but lower vibration. And I remember a story. I remember I was talking to a brother, and the creator he just brought it to my mind, where the guy was talking to me. He said he was talking to his wife. And they was having a disagreement. And then he finally rose up and said, hey, you know what? You ain't no damn good. He said, you just ain't no good. You ain't no damn good. I remember him telling me that. It was like after all these years, he finally woke up and realized that his wife, he felt his wife wasn't no damn good. Now, I bring that out to say that I don't think faith is, that's kind of harsh to say that. I think that's kind of harsh. But I think at some point, if you get honest with yourself, then you say to yourself that there are people who, even though you do your level best, they can't pick up on the spirit that's coming out of you. They can't pick up on the good that you want to say or that you want to do. They just ain't going to receive it, man. They just will not cut you any slack. You have to bow down. See, now something that comes to my mind is Matthew 11, right? This is a verse that it came to my mind, Matthew 11. Hold on a second, let me share. Matthew 11. And I love, the way the Bible, there's some wisdom. There are some things that you can use in the Bible. In Matthew 11, when I was thinking about that situation way back then, and the guy was talking about how he dealt him dealing with his wife, and then I thought about this. It says, matter of fact, let me go up. It said let me see, starting verse 16. It says, but whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows. Verse 17, it says the saying, we have piped unto you, and you have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and you have not lamented. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say he had the devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified over children. And so it's the same way with faith is from what I'm learning. No matter what you do, man, whether you sing or whether you dance to whoever you're talking to, there ain't going to be no response for most people. Matter of fact, it's just like another scripture that came to my mind where it talks about throwing your pearls before swine. Now, I'm not calling my cousin a swine. I ain't calling nobody a swine, But it says, let me see, I should try to find it. I know you all know that account, where, let me find it first. Neither cast thy pearls before swine, King James Version. It's like all these things are hitting me ever since that situation. It's just non-stop overstanding. It just keep on coming about what life as a faith is most likely going to turn out to be like. Matthew 7:6. Oh, go ahead, brother. I didn't even know you were still on the thing.
I was just going to chime in and say that it's one of those
Yeah.
things. It's one of those things where when a OAHSPE opens your eyes to something, or if anything, open your eyes to something to a higher light, you can't unsee it. And so a lot of what happened with me when I first read a OAHSPE was the same thing that you're going through. Is that you read through a OAHSPE and it reveals a lot of things to you, but it's not until you have experience in reality that you refer back to what a OAHSPE says.
Yes, that is so true. Boy, that's true, man. That's a good word right there, brother.
And it becomes that much more real to you, because really it's about having experience. It's not about reading a book. You can, like the last time I was on here when we read Book of Inspiration, I think it was 13, where we were talking, no, Book of Inspiration 9, where we were talking about how books are indirect, but direct inspiration from me moves you to receive information that is indirect. And so when you read in a book, and then that goes for OAHSPE, the experience is indirect until you have the experience direct, which is more objective than reading it. And so when you have the direct experience in reality and in life, then that's when it hits you different. You refer back and say, wow, OAHSPE revealed this to me, and it's so true.
Right. Yeah, I think that I'm coming from the perspective where I went through the situations first, and now I find myself referring back to them through the light of OAHSPE and Bible too. I mean, the Bible, it has some profit to it, some wisdom, but it took the OAHSPE. I credit the OAHSPE with plugging me in and filling the gaps that I see as the biggest thing in my life right now. I find myself now, that's what I'm beginning to do on my broadcasts is learn, speak about things that have happened. I mean, empirical things, and then share it. And I just, even though the situation that I went through yesterday, it was a real body blow. It was a real body blow, but I ended up saying to myself, seeing my cousin for what I don't know how to say it. I want to be delicate.
Seeing your cousin for what he really is, I'll say it for you.
Yeah. You said it
I'm
for
going
me.
to say it for you like that because
Yeah.
when you speak of faithist and when you speak of faithism translates to an objective realist. An objective realist believes, or actually you can go beyond believing when somebody shows you something, or when you see something objectively, you can now know it. You don't need to no longer believe it. But for lack of better terms, when somebody shows you something, you better believe what it is they show you because it's real right before your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
I
why
mean,
that's why faith is a realist. And I can show you that in Book of Lika.
hey Prince, hey brother, I didn't know you was a reincarnation of Jimi Hendrix. That brother's a guitar player, man. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead. Where you want me to go? Book of Lika?
No. I was done speaking. I can show you that in Book of Lika. I would have to check my notes to get the verse for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna keep going, and then when you're ready, let me know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. I mean, this verse here, "Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, and neither cast your pearls for swine." That's it's kind of harsh language, man. And I wouldn't call nobody swine. I can't. I just can't do that. But just like with that one guy, he said he was having a disagreement with his wife, and then it's like all of a sudden he just said, "Man, you ain't no good. You ain't no good, man." And it was like after all these years, he finally was able to realize. And so with my cousin, I noticed that I had friction with him in my dealings with him, and I would just say, "Man, family, and it's just normal." And then yesterday, I finally said, "Look, man, I'm trying to come to you in the spirit of peace. And if you can't receive that, man, then I know it's not on me. If I'm trying to share with you something that you say that you believe in, which is spirituality, and you come back the way you come back, I know that. And if I'm trying to be conscious of the Creator working through me to share these things, knowing how He tells me to be with other people, and you come across with that fight, with that example, and with that attitude, and it's not my fault, man. You know, it's not that fault. Yeah, I know we don't believe in reincarnation. At least I don't. But I just said that because I wanted to poke fun at you.
Book of Lika, chapter 6, verse 10.
Okay, Lika, chapter 6, verse 10. Book of Lika. All right, hold on a second. Book of Lika, chapter 6, verse 10. Book of Lika, chapter 6, verse 10. Let's see. Lika, book of Lika. All right. Shoot. Where is it? Book of Lika.
It's after Book of Wars.
It's after Book of Wars.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's book 20. Yeah, it's book 26.
Okay, 26. All right.
Yeah.
And what do you want? Chapter 6, verse 10?
Yeah. chapter 6, verse 10.
Okay. Hey, bro, I appreciate you coming on like this, man.
It's all good, man. I got a few more minutes. I got to cut out in like maybe 10 minutes.
Okay. Book of Leviticus, chapter 6, verse.
Just want to holler at you real quick. You say not to be shy.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. I'm trying to get this thing, I'm trying to make it work where everybody come on and start talking to one another. So, Book of Leviticus, chapter 6, verse 10, it says, "And I created man and angels in such a way that all knowledge which is to be everlasting must be obtained objectively." Yeah, I
See?
love that.
See?
Yes, I made him desire without end experience by his own person. Oh, that's beautiful, man. That is beautiful.
By your own, yep, by your own experience.
By
Go
your
ahead.
own experience.
Go ahead and share that so people can see.
Oh, man, you got me. Doggone it. Oh, man, you got me. Oh, I hate when they snap and Dave keep telling me to share the screen because it let me know I'm getting old. I keep forgetting to do it. All right, doggone it. There it is. Book of Leviticus, chapter 6, verse 10. "And I created man and angels in such a way that all knowledge which is to be everlasting must be obtained objectively." Not subjectively, but objectively. Yes, I made him desire without end, experienced by his own person. Yes, beautiful verse.
See?
Yeah,
You got to get
yeah.
the experience.
Yeah, you got to get the experience.
You got to
Yeah,
get the experience objectively. Like a OAHSPE can tell you something all day long, but until you get the experience, you're not going to get it.
right,
You're not going to get
right.
it. Because when you learn from a WASP, you're learning indirectly and subjectively. Per Inspiration chapter 9 explains that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I love it. You know, as a side note, something that comes to my mind, and when you don't, it's like if you don't internalize what it is we believe in, but you got a lot of knowledge about things, but you know, it don't really come out. See, you know, dealing with my cousin, he's a hardcore Christian, and they teach a lot of morality. But the conclusion I came to was that there was too much harshness in his example to see any type of and morality in the sense of being sensitive to how you deal with other people, how you speak to them, what you say to them. And I mean, there just wasn't none of that there, none of that flavor, that Christianity that people like to practice. There wasn't none of that there. It was too much knowledge. You know, it was all I would ask a question, and he would say, Bible, 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 Bible. Okay, well, that's cool, but I couldn't, you know, he would ask me a question, and then he would say, it's a yes or no question. Yes or no? I didn't ask for all that. And then I said, look, man, it's more complex than that, you know. No, I asked you yes or no, you know, pigeonholing somebody. And so it's like I know in Ecclesiasticus, it says something like, uh, there is a man, he is wise and he teacheth many, but he is unprofitable to himself. He's unprofitable to himself, man. You get a lot of understanding and knowledge, but it don't resonate with your spirit. And so really that makes everything that you know, you know, it could cause your whole witness to go away. Nobody will hear what you say because of the way you act. You know, it's, when I read the OAHSPE, he talks, I mean, you know, the fruits of the spirit are in the OAHSPE. It's in the OAHSPE. So it's like there is a man, he is wise and he teacheth many, but he is unprofitable to himself. And I remember in the Bible reading some about after you've gotten finished doing the work and the will of the creator, you yourself are a castaway. You here.
Man, I just read that somewhere today.
There's something
Oh,
about
it's
being
in
a cat.
sorry, it's in Book of Discipline, chapter 5, I want to say.
Book of Discipline, chapter 5.
Yeah, I think it's at the end of the chapter. It says something. It says something like people worship me in words, but not in practice, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
Book of chapter 5, and it's like one of those verses toward the end of the chapter.
Where
I believe
what book is that?
Yeah, chapter 5.
Chapter 5.
It's somewhere after verse 11.
Now, let me see. Book of Discipline, right?
Yeah, chapter 5. And I
What
think
book
it's somewhere
number?
after
What
11.
book number is Book of Discipline? It's Book of Discipline, right? 33. Book of Discipline, and
Yeah,
you want
chapter 5.
you want chapter 5, right?
Yeah, and if it's not discipline, I think it's I just read it today, man. I just looked at it. I should have put that in my notes.
Uh-huh.
It's toward the end. I think like on the second page. I think the second page is like it goes into chapter 6. Yeah, go up, scroll up.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you went too far. I think chapter 6 or something begins on the page after 5 or something like that. But just look at those verses toward yep, that's 6. Now scroll up. Okay, hold on, stay right there. Let me see if I see it.
See, great wisdom cannot be attained in a day, nor purity and strength.
Okay, scroll down. I think it's lower.
And that there be.
Shoot, no, maybe not. I think it was inspiration. Hold up, I'll check real quick on my OAHSPE.
Okay. Yeah, so
My bad, go ahead though.
Okay. So I recall reading in First Peter in the Bible, it talks about if you're persecuted for righteousness' sake, then you're supposed to be happy about it. But also, the fruits of the Spirit are in the OAHSPE. It does proclaim the fruits of the Spirit, because I think that sometimes, we might get caught up with knowledge, but then it don't come out in your spirit so far as make you humble and be sensitive to how you deal with your brother and whether you really because I remember where it says something in the OAHSPE about Book of Jehovah chapter 4. Let's check. Let me see. Let's look at that real quick. Book of Jehovah chapter 4, because it says something about like attracts like. Like attracts like. That means that it's like the creator is saying that you go to your people. It's like, let me find that. I know that you probably heard of it. Where like attracts like. It seems like the creator, he says that he places you in a place of people who you prefer. That's poorly defined, but he puts you in a place. It's like we go to where your people, if you like to rob banks, then you get put with people who rob banks. I mean, that's what it sounds like. Book of Jehovah, chapter 4, verse 11.
Oh, my bad. It was inspiration. It was book of inspiration. I was right. The first time.
It's in Book of Inspiration.
Yeah, my
okay,
apologies.
Let me say.
It's book of inspiration.
All right, let
right,
me bring this out.
Book of Inspiration, chapter 19. I thought it was either Book of Inspiration or Discipline. I had just read it.
Okay, let me bring this out first. It says, let me see, Book of Jehovah, chapter 4. It says, according to the condition of these different plateaus of atmosphere, whether they are near the earth or high above, so shall the spirit of man take his place in the first heaven. According to his diet, his desires, and behaviors, so shall he dwell in the spirit on the plateau to which he has adapted himself during his earth life. Well, it seems like the Creator is saying that we go basically to our time. I could be wrong, but we make our reality right now. The things that we do here determines where we end up in the spiritual. I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems that's what it's saying to me. Verse 12, for I made the power of attraction manifest in all things before man's eyes so that he might not err, so that like would attract like. I made them. Hey, Daryl, where do you want me to go, brother? Book of Inspiration?
Yeah, it was Book of Inspiration, chapter 9. It was toward the end of that chapter. I was getting them mixed up. It's Book of
Okay.
Inspiration, chapter 9, verse 17, to speak to what you were saying about people professing the words but not fulfilling the practice. So
Book
you
of
can read,
Inspiration.
yeah, chapter 9, verse 16 on down.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the real danger, man. I mean, for real, I mean, chapter 9, verse 11 on down.
Hold on. 17.
Oh, 17. Okay. It says, oh, this is going to kind of hurt, bro.
Actually, you can start with 15 because 15 will speak towards what you were just saying about how when the Creator said like would attract like. So
Oh, yeah.
in the context of like-minded people, it's not talking about like men liking men or women liking women or something like that. Like attracts like depending on the context. Like don't attract like depending on the context. It's all about context. But read 15 though, on down.
It says, yet I did not create all men with the same clearness to perceive me and to frame my wisdom in words. Only a few will turn away from the inspiration of the world and come to me. Many profess me in words, but they do not fulfill my inspiration in practice. My
Yeah,
words come, that's a good point. My words come
yeah,
easily. My words come easily to the pure in heart, and my wisdom shows itself in the frame of their speech. For I give them words just as I give inspiration to the animal, to do perfectly and wisely the parts for which I created them. Behold, I show the dumb spider how to weave his geometrical net. Is it greater wonder for me to give words of wisdom to a righteous man, or to put him in the way of receiving my revelations, or to show him the harmony and glory of my creations? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and you was just saying, how does the Creator speak to the soul? And
Mm-hmm.
that answers your question. The Creator said that right there in Book Inspiration that it sends His words or inspiration to those that are pure in heart. And when you define what it means to be pure, purity has to do with intention. If you do things or behave with the right, if you think and do things with the right intentions, that's purity.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think that's the way it works. When you talk about, especially uh, when you talk about Creator and how his plan for us is to enter his higher heavens. And I read, and the lens that it seems the Creator gives me is a lot of it points to your character.
Yeah,
Your character is a big deal, man. I mean, you may just like again, Ecclesiastes says a man he may teach many, but he is unprofitable to himself. I don't want to end up in that situation, man.
yeah, and
I've taught a billion people, but really, look what they felt about me.
yeah,
They felt that my example, how I even might have treated them, and then it seems like it just kills your all the good that you would have done. It just gets killed. Like that one verse that let me see. I was thinking of a verse where it talked about oh, I forget. There was something that I wanted to uh, about how um, I know that you were talking one time about how you'll be answered in your behavior if you want to know where you stand with the Creator. I think that verse that you shared one of the other times you came on, how you'll be answered in your behavior. And so, if you want to know where you stand, then you could just look at what other people say about you, and then you could have a good idea about how you look in the eyes of the Creator. And so, I mean, my cousin, he knows a lot, but if you carry a type of example where people despise you after you try to share something, then what good is all your knowledge? So, and then, hey, Joe, you still there? Anyway, one of the things that I talked to my cousin about, he said, you change every 5 years. He said, you change every 5 years. Your doctrine changed every 5 years. And I felt bad about that because my testimony is one. It has been one. I used to be under Harold Camping. Do you brother remember Harold Camping? Harold Camping. He made a prophecy. It didn't come through. I was talking with my cousin about that. And then I left that because I felt like it was, I forget the reason why. I think I just plain and simply outgrew them. They were stagnant and they're overstanding. And I found out about the Hebrew Israelites. And then I ended up departing from them because I felt like they were stagnant as well. And plus they were teaching hate and couldn't see all they could see was the outer man. And so I think that the Creator, he puts you on that type of, if you're still in the same place, man, that you were in when you first started, then you got a problem. I think that it's a journey, that we've been on a journey, and the Creator, one of the ways it makes you endure is it's growing up. It seems like he makes you grow up. And there are people in the world, they can't really get with that, man. If you go through those stages, they look at you like if you start believing something that you don't no longer, something you believe, something that you didn't believe before, then that'll shut their ears off. Like I had to share with the brother that I've been deceived, man. I've been deceived. I said, do you remember Jeremiah 20? Thou hast deceived me, O Lord, and I was deceived. I'm not the only one, I'm sure. As long as you don't quit, man, as long as you don't give up on the Creator, that's all that's mattered in my understanding. Just don't give up, man, because he exists. That's one good way of testing your mettle. Remember Jeremiah 20? Oh Lord, thou hast deceived me, and I was deceived. Let me see. Omi says, Book of Micah, chapter 14. I think we just looked at that. Let me see. Somebody's backstage. Hold on a second. Oh, okay, Daryl, you must have clicked off. You there, brother?
And the app had froze for some reason. The audio wasn't working, and I couldn't text you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but what I was asking you, I was talking to myself the whole time because my mic was yeah. At any rate, what I was saying was you had said that the Creator judges you by your character, and I was going to ask you, do you know what the three keys are to character? And the three keys.
No, I don't know what you're going to say.
The three keys to character are in Book of Judgment, chapter 20, verse 22, which is what I think you were referring to when you were saying being judged by character and behavior.
Okay, so, you want to look at that?
Yeah, say it again.
You want what you want to look at that?
Yeah, Book of Judgment, chapter 20, verse 22 and 23.
Okay, hold on a
It,
second.
it gives you the three keys to character.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me get it. I'm not sharing the screen yet. to let y'all know.
Something's showing, but okay.
I'm gonna bring it up first.
Uh,
Okay, what it's Book of Judgment, right?
chapter 20. Yeah.
Okay, Book of Judgment, chapter 20. And these are the three keys to character.
The three keys to character are they're not spelled out for you. Like I gotta point them out for you.
Okay. And what chapter is it? Chapter 20, you said?
20, yep, verse 22 and 23.
Okay,
You
22.
work with these, if you work with these three keys to your character, these three keys is what you work on to make a god of yourself.
Chapter 20.
Or really just to develop yourself as a conscious being on this plane.
Right. Right. Okay, chapter 20, verse 20, right?
22.
22. All right. It says, now, therefore, when you judge yourself to determine the balance of your good and evil deeds and your good and evil thoughts, let your Creator stand as the light of your soul. And through him judge yourself, but not as to your worship, but as to your works. Yeah.
Next verse.
Neither shall you judge yourself. Neither shall you judge yourself by any God, Lord, Savior, or other idol, nor by any man or woman, for you yourself stand second to Jehovah in your attributes. It is your responsibility to make a God of yourself in your behavior and in your words and deeds. Neither shall you judge yourself by any sacred book or any Bible in the entire world, nor by the words within them purposing to be my words or the words of any God, Lord, or Savior. For I have abolished all such sacred books and Bibles and words and sayings contained in them purporting to be my words and the words of any God, Lord, or Savior. Neither shall you bind yourself by them, nor judge yourself by anything that is written or printed in them. Hold on a second. I think somebody's backstage. Let me oh, is that you again, Daryl?
Yeah, the StreamYard is clowning, man. It's probably telling me it's time for me to get off and go get on with my life. No, but
Okay, do you want me to read it again or?
no, you don't have to read it again, but I wanted to point out to you that the three keys to character are your thoughts, your act, your deeds, and your words.
Yeah.
That's what the keys are. So because your thoughts govern what you say, and your thoughts govern what you do, which is why that's important. So you got thoughts, you got how you act and what you say. Those are the three keys to character. So we can watch how we think, which is what governs what we say, and which is what governs how we act.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if we can just get those correct, that'll put us on a path to progression. So if anybody ever asks you what are the things that make a person pure, number one, purity is just your intentions. Like, what are your intentions with your actions? What are your intentions with your thoughts? What are your intentions with your words? Because it's your intentions with those three keys is what get you either graded toward the declension or graded toward the ascension.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. I think that that's something that it keeps coming to my mind is the way to judge yourself, the way to build up your character, your thoughts, your words, your deeds. And I think that the Creator is really causing me to look. I mean, I seem to think that one of the ways you learn about the, uh, you know, the at least so far as the deeds is by looking at people, and I seem to see that knowledge is it's got a it's got a bit of seduction to it where it's preferred, but when it comes down to the actual deeds, like OAHSPE, it talks a lot about how to deal with your brethren. And it seems to take more precedence. I mean, the love of knowledge, it seems to take more precedence over the actual way that you present yourself when it comes to dealing with other brethren. I mean, it's almost like knowledge is easy, but the hard part is how you really, how you, I mean, how you deal with your brethren in reality. You know, I believe that we each go to that place where you prefer in your heart, so far as how you deal with other brethren. If you have well, you know what I mean. I think that what we read earlier, I forget where it's in where the creator was talking about, we go to our plateau, we go to those who are under the same vibration, so to speak. I mean, I think that, I mean, I don't know. I think that that's what the creator is saying, that when he talks about like going to like, brethren who are like minded being placed with other brethren who are like minded.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
book about Jehovah. I mean, that's, to me, that's like the whole object, the whole what it's all about. I don't know if I'm explaining that,
yeah.
but
That was the way I was explaining it to you earlier. You saying it the right way. I was just saying that it's about the context. Because you say like it, because if you read that part, like attracts like, people tend to start thinking like, well, magnets are, if one is opposite, one is positive, one is negative, then they attract each other. It's not in the context of magnetism.
oh, no. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that. No.
Yeah, now that's what you were saying, but that's how people would take it when you read that. So you just gotta explain the context, which you did.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like the attraction in magnetism; it's the attraction in like minds.
Yeah. So, I mean, when um, I was, I found myself after this situation when I was talking with my cousin about the what is the what I found myself asking, what is the purpose? What is the purpose that we're being called to? And I'm trying to find a verse here in the Psalm where it seems to sum up what I wanted to talk about, and it's unity. It had to do with unity. Let me see if I can find it. Verse 9 says, God says, as I drilled them in heaven to make them a unit, so shall you also give rites and ceremonies to mortals, so that in coming to heaven they do not go back to their old haunts and fall in darkness. Whatever tends to harmonize the behavior of individuals is of the Father. The opposite tends to evil. It is better that men march to the sound of one monotonous word than not march at all. The value lies not in the word, but in bringing into unison that which was void. A fool says, I do not need to pray. There is no virtue in words, but his soul grows up at variance with Jehovah. Nor is there more virtue in prayer or words than in marching before Jehovah. For whatever tends to unite men in one expression of soul in harmony is Jehovah's. And so it's like a synopsis of, it's like the big picture, at least for faithists, the big picture. And so I would think that that would be easy for anybody to see, especially somebody who claims to be spiritual. And I was talking with my cousin, and I was trying to find some unity. I was trying to sing for him. I tried to dance for him, and none of that would work He wouldn't have none of it. And it's like some people they're just like incorrigible. They got a vibration on them. It don't matter what you do, man. They worship themselves, their opinion. And I think the creator is saying it's going to be up to you to just humble yourself and put down your ego, your desire to rise up and justify yourself, and it's painful. Flesh start burning, you start getting into the same mindset that they're in. If it were up to me and I wanted to be around a group of people, I would like to be around people who have the fruits of the spirit. People who really, you know what I mean? I mean, you know yourself what type of environment that you would like to be a part of. But I just thought it was interesting. You know what? I wanted to look at some more verses on the uzians and tetracts. I wanted to talk more about, do some more verses talking about uzians and tetracts from the creator's point of view. So let me try to find some. I want to look at some more verses, pick up from where I left off yesterday. And it's kind of a shame, man. We live in that type of situation, that reality where it's pretty hard to get along with people. It's pretty hard, man. I mean, even when it comes to just being able to have a discussion and just, I was trying to talk to my cousin and I couldn't even get him to ask me what I was talking about. Like, what do you mean, idolatry or deity? I couldn't even get him involved in a conversation to talk about, what do you mean? I couldn't get him to ask me questions. Everything was, that's not, his what he thought, his education, his knowledge. And it's like there's no possible way that he can know something that's not already known. There ain't nothing that you can tell him that he doesn't already know. I think my screen is frozen here. I'm trying to share my tab. I think my screen is frozen. I don't even know if I can be heard right now.
Yeah, you sound good, brother.
Oh, I didn't even know you were still there, man. Yeah, my screen is frozen. It won't even let me change the screen.
I'm just letting you talk and speak because your show, I don't like to be too intrusive, so I'll just sit back and listen, bro.
Oh no, it's all right, man. It's okay with me. I'm just talking about the situation I had, my cousin, and how disappointing it was, man, and what I've learned from it about people. And there comes, I lost my screen. I can't get my screen to change screens, so I'm gonna just have to wait until it refreshes or whatever it's got to do. But I was pretty disappointed, man. And it's like the thing that came to my mind is you have to save yourself, man. You just got to save yourself. You can't control what other people do. How they going to respond?
No.
What type of, Hey, John, check this out, man. This is something I just found myself thinking about a lot. I was talking to my cousin. He said, I don't follow logic. I follow the spirit. Now I can kind of understand that, but how would you respond to a statement like that? I don't follow logic. I follow the spirit.
Who's to say spirit isn't also logic?
Well, I mean, I can see where he was coming from. Like, there's some things that seem illogical when you talk about faith, but
yeah.
it was a nonsensical statement. very nonsensical, because you need at least 90% logic to to learn, so you can elevate.
Well, how does one
I mean,
define logic?
oh, that's a good question, man. I
That's
would
why
say like I would say
that's
like along the lines of common sense, you know. And when you talk about the spirit, basically, I remember reading where I think it was in the Bible where it says that a lot of things you don't even really need to be taught. And when we're talking about OAHSPE and faithism and really the Creator, it's like he said he's given us the capacity for knowledge and wisdom. I call that like logic. It's like something that's within you, and you don't really need to be taught certain things so far as treating people right, and trying to operate on a higher level, not giving way to dissension and fighting and warring and this type of thing. I would call that logic. Logic. I realize there are things that need to be studied, that have to be fleshed out academically. Did I lose you again, Daryl?
go to Merriam Dictionary and look up the word logic and see what it say.
Oh, okay. I don't know if my screen will let me. Let me try it. Okay, I think I got it back. Hold on. Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Yeah, I'd like to see what the definition for that is too. Okay. A science that deals with the principles and criteria of validity of inference and demonstration. It's too technical for me. The
Find
science
a
of the formal principles of reasoning.
find a more
Science of
simplistic.
the formal principles. Go
You
ahead,
said
can't
more.
hear you.
You can't hear me.
Your mic is fading in. Yeah, that's better.
You can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I was saying was search this page for a more simple definition that a 5-year-old would understand.
Um, do what now?
What I was saying was
Scan, search.
search this page and like read it.
Hey, brother, maybe some other time. I can't. I can't. I'm losing my thought of trying to. It's kind of slowing down the program, trying to do all this. You know, it's. I want to try. I'm losing the flow of what I'm trying to
Oh
say.
no, go ahead then. Go
So
ahead. Go ahead.
I think that you know, the yeah. I mean, this definition. I mean, I think that we all have an idea of what it is. It's like yeah, I would say it's like commonly held belief of something that is, that is right without. It's something that it should be true on its surface, but if I keep trying to, go through and look for, it's just going to make me lose my thought. It's going to make me slow down the video because
Yeah, go ahead.
it's hard on me to try to focus. Yeah.
Yeah, go
What
ahead.
do
Go
you?
ahead.
But what's your definition? What is your definition? What would you say?
To me, logic is like common sense.
Right. Yeah.
But common sense is also something that resides in the spirit, which is why when you ask me how I would respond to him, I said, who's to say that that spirit and logic ain't really one and the same.
Right. Hey, bro, let me say something else and see what you think about this. Something that just came to my mind. Now, the OAHSPE call you not to eat meat. You know, it call you not to be it call you not to be carnivorous.
I'm
And
sorry. My daughter was calling me. Say what you asked me.
I something else I thought about the other day is how the OAHSPE it calls you to be herbivorous. You know, to be herbivorous, not to eat flesh, not to eat meat.
Yep.
One of the things that came to my mind is that dealing with my cousin like that, I wonder how much eating of meat has to do with a person's body. You know, how does it affect them? How do you think that it affects them? How does that come out? How do you
Oh
think
man.
it affects a person who likes to eat meat, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, I wish I had an answer for you. I can only speak from what it done for me.
Do you think that has a big effect?
Yeah, it had a big effect for me. Yeah, I can't speak for anybody else because my experience
Yeah, yeah,
may not be the next man's experience. I can only speak for what it's done for me. But but the clearness, but yeah, that clearness is what that the results of that clearness is what motivated me to keep on going strong for 20 years like I have been. I know, so I don't feel dark. I don't
hmm
feel held down.
hmm
My blood do feel cool. I don't. I'm not a hot headed person. All that is explained in this.
yeah.
All
Now,
that is.
see, you said the key word without me really wanting to mention.
What was that?
Yeah, you mentioned hot headedness,
Yeah,
and I think that's yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was just saying. I think there might be a delay in my microphone. I think you get my audio late after I say it. But like I said, I can't speak for anybody else. But if you want more information on that, it is. You can start with Book of Inspiration, chapter 13.
Right, right. Yeah, I remember reading where the creator he seems to say that it'll dull your spiritual understanding. It will dull your ability uh, to receive spiritual understanding. I guess we lost you, or did somebody want to come in? Let me see. Um, Daryl, are you there? Did you check out or? All right, it's cool. All right, so anyway, let me keep going. Let's look at some more verses on uzians and tetracts because I think that one of the things that for all of us, we see the reality of uzians and tetracts through people we deal with daily basis. For me, it's a miracle. So if my screen will just let me change, I'm having screen problems. Won't let me switch. Okay, there we go. There we go. Real choppy too. All right, so let's look at some more verses on the tetracts. I started to look at the tetracts yesterday. I ended up running out of time. So tetracts are mindsets, vibrations that people are under, and the creator he says that it'll be hard for us to elevate until we're able to take responsibility. Trying to my screen is man, this is a hard day, man. Hard video. My screen's having a lot of problems. Okay, so anyway, tetracts. It says that mortals shall be made aware of tetracts and learn to take responsibility for them. All weather shall be shall learn to take responsibility for them all, whether it's mortals or angels, must transcend these expressions of the beast in order to inherit in higher heavens. So I think that I left off at about here when I was looking at them yesterday. So let me start here. And we're just looking at word verses and tetracts. It says here, God said, yet with the king's decree, I had no part. I had no part for I first saw it, so I don't want. That's too much context. Not enough context to look at that. Let's look at something else. Let's see if this will work. It says, Aisha said, I've asked before that which speaks to my heart. What is it? Now, according to your wisdom, that which speaks to my heart is the uzians. How shall one know it to be so? Zarathustra said, if a man asks the All Light in reference to his own affairs and for his own concerns, then he receives an answer from the tetracts. But if he asks the All Light in reference to what he shall do for others to render the highest good to them, then he answers from Ahura Mazda. Ahura Mazda being the creator. That's an interesting verse right there. The creator saying that according to your desires is how we get answered, whether it's righteous or whether it's wicked. See, Daryl says, man, this app is tripping. We'll catch up some other time. Okay, bro. Sorry about that. Me too. My computer is like, it's real messing up, choppy, and, man, it's killing me, making me lose my focus, lose my train of thought. But thanks for coming on, brother. All right, let's see what this says. It says, God perceived and he sent messengers to the guard over Ogalski, saying to them, when you come into the guard, even to the captains, ask permission to speak to Ogalski. Man, this is killing me. Put a guard over me, for I am obsessed by Satan with the 7 horns, tetracts. And God appointed a guard over you. Today, behold, God sends word to you, saying, I will no longer guard. All right, that's, I don't know context. Sepenta Armid said, the Creator created 3 kinds of earth deliverance. For man first, from his mother's womb, coming crying, blank, and helpless. Second, from the tetracts, earthly passions and desires, serious and full of fear. Third, from the enemies of the Great Spirit. This last is the feast of OAHSPE. And Uhaja made no reply to this, but in his soul he was not free from the tetracts. And Uhaja, being jealous that by obtaining the father's commands, Ahura had advanced beyond him. All right, so I'm going to, unless I read and go up, then it's going to be hard to get a good definition, a good understanding of the tetracts. It's kind of hard to jump into the middle of these verses like that and try to get an understanding. So it's about time for me to close the video anyway. So let me look at a couple more verses and see what we can get out of it. Here's a footnote. It says, if it is toward, no, can't read that. The unmoving are dead. A stone has a name, but no behavior. It is unmoving. It is dead. It is the property of Uz. All right, so can't really look at that either. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and close the video. I wanted to go more into the uzians and tetracts and kind of got sidetracked there. Probably end up doing it Thursday. So if anybody wants to come on and share anything, go ahead. I'm going to go for a couple more minutes and then close it up. Kind of a choppy video today. But anyway, try to pick it up tomorrow. Probably end up talking more about uzians and tetracts and the conversation, the conflict I had with my cousin. things that I'm learning from it, and how it's the situation that we're in, and dealing with people, unreasonable people at times, even no matter what, uh, how much sense that you make, and the only way that you can understand it is that sometimes we have to deal with people who are working on their lower vibration, and in order to for us to elevate in our spirit. And I recall reading something where um, the creator, he says that oh shoot, now I lost the thought. It has something to do with um, I can't even remember what the point of what I was going to say. Something to do with the elevating of our spirit, and it determines how it determines our place in our spirituality. I'm trying to remember, I can't remember it. All right, so shoot, let me just go ahead and close it up. I don't think anybody wants to come on. So thank you, brother, for joining me. Thank you, Daryl, for coming on and sharing. Want to give thanks to the creator for this opportunity to try to be a light while I'm in this reality. Brethren, no video tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, the Bible study. Oh, you know what? I want to look at my room real quick, too, because I posted some things that I thought were really, I mean, just really bless your soul. Let's see if I can bring it out. At least read a couple of things that I shared in my room real quick. Okay, so here's something I found in OAHSPE that I shared in my room. Let me share it real quick. It says, again, Jehovah said, when man has fulfilled his time in the lower heaven, I prepare him by ample teachers for a higher resurrection as brides and bridegrooms. My hosts adorn them, and I come in the sea of fire. I think sea of fire just means great brightness, from what I can understand right now. It says, first man was wedded to the earth, by me solemnized, made us. Uh, solemnized means to be made binding, sealed, deep sealed. He said, first man was wedded to the earth by me, solemnized, and without man's knowledge. Then to the lower heaven he was wed, laboring with spirits and mortals. The voice departed, and now on us he spoke, saying, behold, the brides and bridegrooms of Jehovah. When they were young, they were wed first to the earth, then to the lower heavens, without their wills. And that's something, without their wills, it says, against our wills, or without our knowing. It says, now they stand before the throne of God in your name, O Jehovah. I command them to speak their wills. And then I posted a question in the room about something that I'm learning about the problems of the Bible. I came across this verse right here where it says, and this is the account where he asked to see God's glory, and he was put in the cleft of a rock. And it says, Exodus 13:22, and it shall come to pass while my glory passes that I will put there in the cleft of the rock and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. And the question that I had was, if God is God in this verse, why did he need the rocks to protect Moses from his glory? Could not God have done it himself? And when you can get in that mindset of asking these type of questions, you're reading the Bible, I'm telling you, that's a powerful tool to help you to open up and see how it's very problematic. And, you know, again, thinking about my cousin, I can't have this type of discussion with him. You can't have this type of discussion with a lot of people. Once you voice some objections, any objections, you talked about the scripture, you got problems. Okay, and then Lisa, my sister, she says he did it by covering his hand. My question was, why did he use the cleft of the rocks? And another question I had was, is his glory spatial? Is it spatial? Isn't the glory of God everywhere? My point is that the Bible, when you start asking these type of questions, then the light, it really seems to come on. It really is, you know, it increases your understanding when you start asking these type of questions, because we've been taught to believe that God is who the Bible says he is. But even without having to read the OAHSPE, and you mentioned an entity like God and how he is above everything, is everywhere at once, then why does he need anything to protect anyone from his glory? And isn't his glory everywhere? Like, there are some other examples, like in the New Testament, where you wonder why. Well, I know I was getting ready to say some things that Jesus did that make you wonder if he's a God. Why do we need others to wash his feet? And, but someone would say, well, he was in the flesh, and like, why did he get tired? Does God get tired? And someone would say, well, he was in the body, and so I wouldn't, argue with that. I think there's some truth to that. Here's another verse. It says, I cause the grain to grow in the field, and the day before it is ripe, I send wind and rains and destroy it utterly. I bring forth man and shapely limbs and strong arms, but in the day of his prime, I cut him down. I gave the passion of love to the mother, but I take away her firstborn. Do I not know that first of all things, man should be taught to know my power, and after that, my wisdom? Have they seen the places of the dead and hell and destruction? Teach them, O God, for their ultimate resurrection, that my glory and teach them, O God, for the ultimate resurrection is my glory and my delight. Shall man of the earth say that the Creator was angry and so sent the Lamb beneath the ocean? He does not have wisdom to comprehend that in this day I cast out hell and destruction. The Druges is love. As vampires, they feed on each other to the ruin of both. And so basically, the Creator is saying he does these things so that man will know his power before his wisdom. And that's why, if I think the Creator is also saying that's why what's going on in the world today is going on, because there's a process where there's going to be there already is a massive, what's the best word for depopulation through disease, through wars. And I think the worst is yet to come. And I think the Creator is saying that he does these things because of things that we don't realize, that he's removing hell and destruction. And this is the way that he's doing it, by allowing the things that are going on in the world today. It's like he's saying we don't understand, why he would, he says here, he makes man strong and young, but in the day of his prime, I cut him down. And people naturally going to say things like, why does he allow this type of thing? The Creator, he says, so that man may know my power and then my wisdom. And once man learns to respect the Creator, then they're going to want to know, they're going to want to seek him. Because in this reality, the Creator, he knows that strength is what people respect. People respect power. So he allows things like that in order to get man's attention. He allows things like this to get man's attention. It says, but to those who will not make these covenants, I have given the numbers of the beasts, and they shall be called uzians, signifying destroyers. From this time forward, these shall be two kinds of people on the earth, Pathis and uzians. See that? There are two kinds of people, two kinds of people on the earth. And if you subscribe to one of the beast kingdom, Christianity, like my cousin, he's in the beast kingdom, man. I mean, according to the OAHSPE, if I were to tell the truth, and he's a strong Christian, the OAHSPE calls him an uzian. An uzian, man. You know, two types of people on the earth, Faithists and uzians. Remember that all light answers everything in heaven and earth after its own manner. If you kill, you are answered in torment sooner or later. If you utter falsehood, you are answered in falsehood. If you curse, you will be cursed in return. That's why I was saying earlier, I think that according to our behavior, you fake this so far as like, attracting like, I think it is how it goes. Like, attracting like. I'm equating that with the creator saying that he places us in places with like-minded people. People are of the same heart and mind, different spiritual plateaus. It says if you utter falsehood, you are answered in falsehood. If you curse, you will be cursed in return. If you hate, you will be hated. If you seclude yourselves, you will be excluded. If you keep evil company in this world, you will be bound in evil company in heaven. If you seek to become a leader of men, remember that they whom you rule over will be your burden in heaven. If you do not teach, you shall not be taught. If you do not lift others up, none will lift you up. For in all things the same rule applies in heaven as on earth. For it is a continuation in spirit of that which is practiced in the flesh. The Lord said, that which speaks to your soul, O man, teaching you wisdom and good works, reproving you for your faults, and enchanting you with the glories of all created things, is the voice of your Creator. And that is the road by which the Lord your God comes to you. So that's why I talked a little bit about listening to the inside of you. It's something that I believe I really started doing yesterday after the situation, talking with my cousin, and really searching myself, wanting to know what the Creator, what his mind was on what happened, the unpleasantness of the conversation, and what did he think about it. And I really gave it. I thought hard about it, and then I think for the first time, I began to listen to the voice, the Creator's voice, telling me, hearing the voice of the Creator, which is within me. I don't want to sound kooky or anything. Oh man, I haven't even been looking at the screen. I don't think there's been too much activity anyway. So, but it goes along with this verse right here where, oh, my screen is freezing again. This verse where it says the Lord said that which speaks to your soul. So we get spoken to. Oh man, teaching you wisdom and good works, reproving you for your faults, and enchanting you with the glories of all created things, is the voice of your Creator. Like Daryl was saying, we get spoken to on all sides through everything. So basically, it's something that I believe it just started for me just yesterday after the phone call with my cousin. The inner voice, the voice of your Creator. Here it says the Lord came down to man on earth and spoke to man in two ways: by the voice as man speaks, and by the Spirit as soul answers to soul. That was very interesting. I made corporal man belonging to the seen, but the spiritual man I made as one within the unseen and everlasting. I looked over the wide heavens that I had made and saw countless millions of spirits of the dead who had lived and died on other corporal worlds before the earth was made. How do you like that? And I wanted to talk to. I never got to it about the lineage of the lineage of false gods, and how where does their lineage start? I was going to talk a little bit about Yaldabaoth, then the Nag Hammadi. He's a product of Sophia, who didn't keep her place in the heavens, and she gave birth to the beginning of the rulers of the archons, who the false gods who are still here today. Anunnaki, the Nephilim. Okay, so that'll be it for today. This goes into an event that it happened a few, or is something that's a possible predictor of the hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah, according to a major lunar standstill. Won't go into that. But anyway, I think that'll be it for right now. All right, so I want to give thanks to the Creator for giving me this opportunity to try to be a light while I'm in this reality. And no video tomorrow. Brethren, thank you for joining me. Until I see you again, peace, love, light, and wisdom be unto you. Shalom.